Welcome to BaldHeaded Metal, guys, and welcome back to another reaction to the band Hagane with their song Blackcult, which, from what I understand, a Japanese band. I remember this being really requested a couple of weeks ago. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time to get to different reactions since I work full time and family and everything like that. But I try to get to all of your reactions in all seriousness. That being said, be prepared that I might have some criticisms because I like to express myself 100%, but I do it more for the spirit of conversation, not an outright criticism of a particular artist. I think it makes for a more interesting reaction. That said, let's get into the reaction and see what we got. Interesting. All female group. I do notice it in a lot of Japanese bands. There's almost like uniforms. Bands will dress in a kind of a specific style together. You can call it gimmicky style. You can call it like a uniform style, whatever it is. I think it's kind of cool. I'm starting to kind of appreciate it more than I did in the beginning. Even if I don't always like the particular outfits, they look like fantasy pirates almost. The music so far, it's solid. Uh, hasn't really sunk its teeth in me though, so let's keep going and see how it develops. So I think the pirate theme is on point with the boat that they keep showing. Uh, Unfortunately, I use this unfortunately excuse a lot, but it seems to me like this particular band is solid when it comes to playing and even songwriting. Like everything seems to be pretty solid. Um, but I can't get rid of the feeling of been there, done that. Despite how good it is, it's like this happens to me a lot when I play video games. Like just because there isn't a new video game, I'll play one. I was like, well, I've kind of done this before, but I still enjoy it. But it's nothing like after I beat it, I probably will never go back to it and won't remember it. And like for example, I'm playing Terminator Resistance, and that's the feeling I'm getting there. I'm getting the same feeling from this particular band. I like it's solid while I'm there and I'm listening to it and enjoying it. But like I feel almost like after it's done, there's no reason for me to come back because I already heard it from bands 15 years ago. That's done to this kind of a level. Unless I think something specifically hits what you love. Let's say a thrash metal band that does the same thing that stays in the comfort zone. I am a sucker for thrash metal, so I can be more forgiving, and I would come back to that because it's my niche. Power metal tends to be not my niche, so that's I think that those biases coming into play where it's usually not my thing, and it's kind of just kind of on like a solid not a great level. So I'm like, okay, so I don't see myself coming back to this particular band. Although I see somebody who's really into power metal probably loves something like this. I'm really glad he did that change up. I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, wow, this is kind of one note song, like it's staying on the same rhythm, and then boom, nice switch up. And I gotta say, the best part of this so far is actually her vocals. I really like her voice. She has a really nice, pretty voice. Yeah, I knew they were going to be shredding. As soon as the song began with the solos and everything, out of how they're playing, I already knew these girls had skills. The drum seems to be the most simplistic in this particular song. The drum, even the bass had a little moment. The drumming seems to almost keep just the rhythm, but I would love to hear a little bit more of display of skill and like changing of patterns and changing and adding and doing something different. I've always loved, for example, somebody like Dave Lombardo, where Slayer could be not always the most complex in terms of their music, but Dave Lombardo was always doing something different. He would play the same rhythm, like same section in a slightly different kind of a way. He always tried to switch it up or something, just add a little bit extra to it, which I think why he will always be the Slayer drummer, as much as I like Paul Bostaph. Yeah, solid song, good songwriting, really nice voice. Unfortunately, when it comes to the sound, it sounds like the classic 90s power metal. Like Bandmade put a little staple on it, infusing it a little bit more jazz and like doing their own thing with this rock and roll kind of formula. Love Bites also sticks, I think, pretty close to the formula of what kind of Judas Priest laid down with the new wave of British heavy metal and traditional metal. But there, it's more closer to my heart, so I tend to like that kind of stuff. So it's okay if it doesn't necessarily break the mold. Although I think I would argue the vocalist probably breaks the mold a little bit. Nemophila, definitely, I think it's one of those more new age bands that is genre blending and breaking the mold and doing different kinds of things. And Pale Dusk is not even in this conversation because they're completely wild, wacky, and wild. And this, it plays it a little bit too safe. That's what I would say. It plays it a little bit too safe in its songwriting and kind of their musicianship. I would have loved to hear more unique elements in the music. I don't know exactly what it would be for this particular band. I don't know them well enough. I can tell you for the bands that I've had problems with, or I would have loved to hear certain things from. For example, with Nile, I've always loved when they've introduced those Egyptian themes more in their music because it makes them sound unique. There's not a lot of people that do that. I would love to hear from you guys as well, especially the people that requested this song. Kind of what is your thoughts on this particular song and why you like this band so much? And guys, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there and keep it metal.